But once something is alive and it's inside of you, it's replicating, and you detect its presence, the earlier you detect it, the earlier you need to relax. Welcome to the Midwest. I am making this video. I have caught a cold, or I'm sick in some way. Now it may be like, hey, you're still breathing through your nose, you don't look too bad. You look amazing, Jesse, is probably what you're saying. You're like, you are so sexy. How could you possibly be sick? I appreciate that. I get that, you know, all the time. But it's true. I have come down with something, and I wanted to make a video about this because I think that there's some things that need to be made clear in the world of health and wellness, especially in the world of breath work, in the world of all these techniques and supplements and methods and all these things that have a lot of claims, and for many years had me feeling guilty for catching a cold. Maybe you can relate to this. If you can't relate to this yet, first of all, maybe you didn't succumb to some of the false narratives that are out there, but maybe you just are still kind of stuck in it. And I just wanted to talk about that today. A little bit of a vlog type style video today. I'm out in, there's a nature park. This actually used to be a golf course, and then my town decided to let it go back to nature, which I appreciate. And my dog, Bernie, he's decided to sniff everything. This is Bernie. Now he's gonna claim that. Bernie is also wearing a bow tie that my wife got for him. You know, I probably wouldn't have given him a bow tie. Well, maybe I would have. Anyway, this right here, what I'm doing right now, this is the best medicine that I have found. And let me talk about it. So oftentimes, whenever a person is really trying to take their health in their own hands and really trying to do the best they can for their health, they're like, what is the cure to the common cold? I've got to attack this thing. Man, take it. And there'll probably be some comments under this. Well, I took 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every hour on the hour, or I did this breathing technique, or I took an ice bath and I was suddenly cured. And hey, you know what? People get lucky, that's great. But I've been doing this now for about a decade. Actually, I've been in the health and wellness industry now since 2001 in a serious way, but I haven't been professional for that long. But let me tell you what I have found, because I've fallen for a lot of these things, a lot of the hype. There's a lot of this out there that also existed in the 90s, in the 80s, early 2000s, and it still exists with fitness stuff. So for instance, there's still the pills that, you know, will make you skinny, or that are going to make you gain X amount of muscle in so many weeks. There's all the penis enlargement pills, which I, of course, never took. Those other people, those gullible people took those. I mean, there's all kinds of claims, and they prey on the human desire for an easy fix. Now, let me tell you something that I have found, and this is the bedrock. This is the bedrock foundation of the language of breath philosophy, which, if you've taken my course, you already know about it. My next book is talking about this, but ultimately it all comes down to the most important thing is self-awareness. So ultimately, awareness within yourself, understanding that it's not the mind or the body, that it's all one thing. Your mind and your body, you're a single organism, 37.2 billion cells working to survive and thrive on planet Earth. Bernie is very curious about. Bernie's an old dog, and so sometimes I think he just makes excuses. He's like, I'm very interested in this nothing over here. because he gets tired. Maybe we'll take a break in a minute. But overall, when it comes down to it, what I have found to be the best thing is to become aware early on. If you can become aware that you're becoming, okay, maybe I might have caught a cold or whatever it is. Maybe it's the earliest signs of injury. But becoming aware before it becomes painfully aware. Becoming aware whenever it's still subtle. Becoming aware whenever it's not grown into the monster. You know, that awful cold that takes you out for 2 weeks, or that injury that takes you out from the gym for a month or 3. Ultimately, what I have found is that the best medicine is learning to really be aware when it's really subtle, and then resting. And this is really hard whenever we describe rest, because we don't understand that the mind and body, it's all the same thing. So like, yeah, I'll rest. So what do? We will sit down, we'll get on the couch, we'll lay down, and then we'll play video games or engage in social media or over-caffeinate. All of these things are actually keeping you active. And they're producing cortisol, which in small quantities boosts your immune system, but chronic quantities, which are common and which probably have led to you succumbing to this virus or bacterial infection or whatever in the first place, that does the opposite. It increases inflammation and it reduces your immune function. So after all these years, my best advice, the thing that I have learned the hard way from getting sick and feeling guilty about it, is this: if you can sense it very, very early, when it's very subtle, and not ignore it, not suppress it, and say, okay, there's something there, respect that, and then slow down. No one wants to hear that. No, dude, I'm gonna do the breathing technique that cures everything, or I'm gonna take the pill that cures everything, or squirt the this or that in my, in the back of my throat, and then, man, it's gone. That's not how it really works. And I'm sorry, I know we want to believe that there's some kind of a magical potion that just somehow magically makes it happen. Yes, I'm taking supplements. Yes, I take a lot of supplements. I'm not saying they don't help. I'm not saying that they're useless. But once something is alive and it's inside of you, it's replicating, and you detect its presence, the earlier you detect it, the earlier you need to relax. And really, this shouldn't be any surprise. This shouldn't be any surprise if you know anything about how you work. When we are active, when we are in that sympathetic dominant state, we are using our energy for physical purposes, or at least that's what was intended. The autonomic nervous system is there to help you regulate energy. So if you're active, you're in that sympathetic dominant system, that energy is going to be spent on physically moving you through your environment, on basically everything that's going to keep you physically alive amongst a physical threat. All right, we've got another something. I think he's getting tired. He's an old dog, but he's a good dog. He's been with me for, how old are you now? Like 100? But anyway, the parasympathetic dominant system, or the parasympathetic side of your autonomic nervous system, that's the one that says, okay, we're going to put energy into healing. We're going to put energy into recovery, into fighting off those invaders, And if you can allow yourself to get into that state early enough, before you have all these terrible symptoms that they're just going to force you to do that. I mean, ultimately, you have your choice. You either do it willingly. It's like my dad always said, we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. I got a lot of spankings as a child. So, but the thing is, that is the cure to the common cold. It's within you. Yes, you need your minerals. Yes, you need your vitamins. And there are things that you can take to help you feel better and maybe even speed the process along. I would recommend things that are going to help you relax. And so what I am doing right now, I'm out in nature. I'm with my buddy, Bernie. I'm not doing anything that's putting me into a dopamine feedback loop. Really, making this video is probably the most stressful thing I'm doing right now. And there's nobody around. It's just me. It's kind of an ugly day right now. And of course, Bernie's here. He's hanging out with me. But I'm moving around. It's not that cold, but you'll notice I'm not dressed for cold training. If I was dressed for cold training, I'd be half naked walking around. I'm here trying to be comfortable, breathing some fresh air, just trying to stay relaxed. Will I go to sleep a little early tonight? Yes. Will I drink a little extra water? Sure, yeah. I'm gonna do everything I can to help myself relax though. That is the key. It's not Joe Schmo's, technique or this or that. The magic is already inside of you. Get out of your own way. That's where the healing is. If you want to learn more about my philosophy of breathwork, which embraces this whole philosophy that I've been talking about, take a look at the links below. We do a training session for if you want to become certified in this style of breathwork, in this philosophy of health and wellness. Those links are below. But thanks for hanging out with me on this video. Thanks for hanging out with Bernie. Let's see, Bernie. Yeah, he just wants to keep going now. He's on a roll. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to go out there and be kind to one another.